we've kind of hinted at it already, but there is a pretty important theological concept that is all over the book of Leviticus, and it's actually all over the Gospels as well. And that's the concept of being ceremonially unclean. And I think a lot of people misunderstand this concept of being ceremonially unclean. Um, One of the things that I discovered, and again, like I didn't know. I've been reading the Bible my entire life. I'm 37. I did not understand this concept until I was in my early 30s. And that was this idea that brazen sins like murder, that sort of thing, does make a person ceremonially unclean, but being ceremonially unclean sometimes has nothing to do with sin. This past Sunday, I, I'm kind of in the beginning of a preaching series on atonement, and we're kind of going through Leviticus, trying to understand what this concept of atonement meant in the Old Testament. And there's this really crazy verse in Leviticus where they're giving instruction for women that have given birth, and Leviticus actually says that when a woman gives birth, she is ceremonially unclean. She has to wait a certain amount of time, and then she's to go and do the sin offering. And it actually says, and the priest will make atonement for the woman. And so I turned to my congregation and I asked them, is there anything sinful about a woman giving birth? And there was this really uncomfortable silence, like they were afraid to answer. And then eventually, some of the men started saying no. But what that told me is the women in my congregation, they know exactly about this verse, and they've probably been too afraid to ask about it. But this concept that, and of course the truth is there's nothing sinful about having babies, because God flat out commands people to multiply. And so the question is, why does Leviticus say pregnant women need to be atoned for if there's nothing sinful about that? Clearly we have misunderstood this concept of atonement.